Hello, pissers. What's up? Can I get some piss babies in the chat? Get some absolute
Good one,
piss
Joshua.
babies in the chat. How's everyone doing today? Yeah, Fridge Pod is over, but that's not the announcement. That was announced months ago. That was announced months and years ago, honestly. It's beginning of June. But hello everybody. Welcome. Hello Sal. Hello Lem. Hello Pancake. Hello Torch23. There's the pissing in chat. Hello Mega. Hello. Mega butts. Hello, B Lemon. Oh, where's chat at? No, where's chat at? Guys, I can't see. Oh, I probably X. Hello, Corey. Am I at the beach? Yeah, that's the announcement. As I'm at the free. Hang on, I don't know why chat's not showing. Let me see if this is working. I suppose working here. Weird. I don't know why it wasn't working. Look at that. Look at that. Hello, Ska Man. Long time, no time, man. Marla Singer, welcome. Piss. How did I get a whole setup? No, I literally. You want to see the whole setup? Want to see the whole setup is? This is the whole setup. It's just a green screen. New pod with Knee Girl is not correct. It is not. That is not the enough. It's literally just a shitty little green screen. However, there's a reason why I have a green screen. Right. That there's a made that is related to the announcement. Hydrate. Hey, Lem. Hey, check this out. Look what I did here. Look at that. Now you're behind me, so we can all see that we're. Hey, everybody, take a drink. Oh, look at that. Hello, Luda. Welcome. Glad you can watch it as well. You should be grinding for summer classes. No, you shouldn't. If you don't drink, then how can you be a piss baby? Well, first off, can we talk about the hat? Can we talk about this hat? $55 burgers, 55 fries. Hang on, I can't read it. 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 coats, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pastas, 55 peppers, and 55 taters. 155 taters. Not a new pods, dude. No, this is the old pods, dude. I just put up a green screen. Just a green screen. New pods, dude, is coming very soon. We're waiting on the furniture. In the middle of a Zoom lecture, yeah, this is way more important. This is way more important. Squirt zero sugar, good? Probably. Squirt's pretty good. All right, are we ready for the announcement, y'all? Are we all ready for it? You didn't get clickbaited. It is an announcement. So that's the important part. Is you weren't completely clickbaited. Now, whether or not it's a huge announcement, oh my goodness, admiration. Thank you for the follow. Whether or not you believe it's a huge announcement is a subjective thing. I am very excited for this announcement. Now hang on. Oh, stop it. Here we go. Are we ready? Now you might keen-eyed viewers might know the announcement if you recognize the glasses. Because I am entering my YouTube commentary era. That's right. 3 subscribers. You could be top 10. If you want to check it out, you can go exclamation mark hash on. There'll be a link right there. That's gonna be my new avenue of creation that isn't judgy. Something it's a solo project. I'm not doing it with anyone else. Like, it's just me. So if you want to give me a sub, that would be very cool. My first video it's why I have the green screen up. Is because I used it to record yesterday. I spent like 9 hours on a script. Hey, thanks Melissa for the sub. Hey, Melissa, that's why I keep you around. Marla with the sub, Lem with the sub. I think it's kind of, if you listened to Fridge Pod, really what Fridge Pod was for me was an hour-long circle jerge type thing. Hey, goose goose duck, that's what I like to hear. Griff cool. Life, hell yeah. And so what this is gonna be is sort of, it's gonna be a much more researched thing where I do spend time. I want to actually give hopefully thought-provoking or like interesting takes and deep dives on stuff. It's not going to be super frequently. I really want to start out aiming for once a month. That's my goal. So yeah, it's kind of just it's my take on, it's Hash on. And of course, if you say it out loud, it sounds like Hassan, which was also funny to me. So there's Hash on. Let's see how many pissers we got in here. 29 pissers in chat. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you, Queef Glitter. Thank you, Sully. I really, I wouldn't expect anything. I guess I don't know. I want to temper expectations a little bit, but the first one, I can sort of do a sneak preview here. Here, let me switch scenes real quick. Go get sushi, Bryce. Hell yeah. Thank you for stopping by. It's literally not coming up on your YouTube. Can you click on this link in chat? It's Hash on YT is the link. It's at Hash on YT. YouTube made it so you have to put an @ sign there. It's not just Hash on. It's Hash on YT. So yeah, let me. I can maybe give a little bit of a preview of what I'm doing. I haven't edited I want the video to come out. I want the video to come out next week. So this is the soft launch of what I want to come out next week. Let's see. Let me change my. So it's a work in progress, of course, but this is what I'm calling it. Well, the title is a work in progress, but this is a little thing I made. The guidelines of an abused animal MLM. And so it's not a very cheery topic, but it's effectively people on TikTok who are stealing money from people by showing videos of like abused or injured animals and being like, please, please, please give me money. Please, 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 please give me money. And then you look into it and it's like, this seems very shady. And so it's going to be like a 20 to 30-minute video on that because I think it's a very interesting niche thing that I spent way too long falling into a hole on. And it's also just like disgusting to see people doing it like and just like getting away with it, you know, and like I don't know. The whole video will come out, you'll see. And hey, where's my Salatars in chat? Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt. Hey, hey, hey. This was my birthday present from Sal and Stacy. Hello, Merle. Hello. I do say I don't show too much stuff. There was so many videos I watched that were like I literally couldn't watch them. And I didn't put any of that in the video. I'm not planning on it. And I do have, of course, Every Mirror and Mechanic. Thank you for the follow. I do have a little I'm not used to this setup. Hang on. I do have a little like content warning thing set up. That's just a cat. So why can't I see my scroll bar here? Where am I not seeing? I had to make my view differently, the timeline, but my edit. Oh, here we go. So whenever something is coming on screen, I do put makes these videos stand a little. Here's an example of a TikTok from an account called Help. So obviously I'm trying to be like Aurora can't watch some of the videos that I've pulled, even though I personally don't think I pulled anything too crazy and anything too bad. Anything too crazy I wouldn't put in the video. That's obvious. But yeah, I would appreciate the support. This is again a solo project. 39 subscribers. Hell yeah, brother. It should be coming out next week. That's my goal. I go live a little bit earlier, Lettuce, than just because I go live when Aurora's at work. But yeah, I talked about wanting to stream more, and I think this is kind of going to take over the space of streaming more. Thank you, Gary. Just because it's something that I feel like I can just sort of dump into when I want to, less of a commitment. Hey, Le Mejito, thank you for this Prime subscription. Very cool of you.
Good one, Joshua.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Half Squat, for supporting. And of course, if you don't want to stick around, now it's just Pokemon stream. Now it's not hey, Lettuce with the Prime sub. Hell yeah. Drop the subs if you got them. I might stream more again. It's just I want to put time into this. It's kind of replacing the time that I lost or the time that I gained from FridgePod. So yeah. Your hair looks so good like a wig. Oh, in the video. It's because of the green screen. The green screen, like the green screen is set up to like cut, like all the stray stragglers. And so it just makes it look like shapelier. Does that make sense? Yeah, I am a Drew Gooden clone. I mean, I don't want to be a clone of anybody. Of course, I'm going to take inspiration. Griff with the hey resub. Hell yeah, Griff. Let's go. 10 months. 10 months in the chat. I don't want to clone anybody. I don't want to like rip anybody's bit or chomp anybody's bit. That's right. And if you do need to get in the Discord and you did a sub, you can go ahead and DM Lemon. We can get you an invite. Hey, have a good one, Capades, with your Colonial America reading. But I do want to put my own spin on it, and obviously I'm going to be, I'm obviously there's going to be like inspirations, but like one of my favorite content creators has always been Eddie Burback. So I think it's probably going to be more along the lines of an Eddie Burback type thing. Like if you're on the spectrum of like, if you're on the spectrum of like commentary creators on YouTube, I don't even know why we need arrows on the side here, but like if this was like your Eddie Burbacks of the world, and then over here is like your Nick is not Greens. I definitely want to be more on the timeline. Like if this was the middle here, I definitely want to be more like here. Because Nick obviously makes a ton of content. It's not going to be a like, holy shit, this thing is happening right now, I'm going to talk about it. Because at that point it's just another like podcast, and I want to put more time and effort and research on stuff, which I think Eddie does, and that's what makes Eddie's that's what makes Eddie's videos very good. Is it'll be something as simple as I went to every single Rainforest Cafe, very simple like concept is like, oh yeah, I just went to go eat at like these 14 restaurants. But because of the amount of work and effort he puts onto the video, it makes it a compelling story. And that's kind of what I want to be, but adding more of a like current event-y drama. Like this is something that's currently happening, but like, can we talk about it? But I'm not going to put out like, 7 videos a day and be like, oh, this is my 14th channel and here's where you do it. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, Nick. I mean, Nick is at a level where he can do that, and I love that for him. I've watched a lot of his content. That's just not what I want. I want something that's like, oh yeah, I just here's a thing that I found on for this month that I want to talk about. In regards to friend requests from Josh and Joe with Fridge Pod, the show is over. It's been over for, like I said, a little over a month now. I think it was the beginning of June. Um, uh, can't really talk about stuff other than just yeah, it's not. Continue. Yeah, that's right. If you sub on Twitch, yeah, you get access to the Discord. The Discord really is the only reason why we pay gate it is just to help lessen the amount of stress that we put on our moderator team, as well as make it so like assholes don't get in as easily. So yeah, if you are able to give any amount of money in any way, you can get into the Discord for. Thank you, Becky or Beckini. I hope it's fun. I hope I'm worried about one. I'm not a very skilled editor. And so keep calm Hash on. Hey, that's our first merch, baby. I'll tag you on
Good
credits
one,
for that.
Joshua.
I'm a little nervous already because I'm not a super talented editor. I'm not a super skilled editor. I don't have a lot of experience with editing, like not just, podcast editing, which is very simple. And so I'm worried about getting videos out in time because I have to think of a thing that I want to deep dive on, and make it interesting. But I think it'll be fun. It'll be very good practice for editing. The only thing that I've really done that's like, the only thing that I've really done that's like editing heavy is like the vlog, which I mean I edited the vlog in like a day. If you watch the Judgies vlog for Tampa, yeah, I'm just real quick. I'm just making a YouTube channel. So if you want to sub, if type exclamation point Hash on, and it'll give you a link to the new YouTube channel. And like I think like 8 hours. I think I just like sat down and just did it. And it's not the craziest thing you've ever seen. But I think it's fun. I don't know. I had fun doing it. So it'll be probably similarly bad editing to like this stuff, but hopefully I get better as time goes on. And I also do have, I know I've mentioned it multiple times on the podcast. I have like 70% of like video made. I probably won't ever finish, but it's Christian and I did a stream back in like December or something, I think. Where we did like we broke a bunch of world records on stream, and it's just I'm just not a very good editor, and it didn't really come through together how I wanted it, and I shot it so long ago that I'll probably never finish it. But you can see how much how much I've put into it that it's just never gonna get done. You can see my timeline here is just it's just so filled with bullshit. And I'm sure there's an easier way to have done all this editing, but it's just never gonna come out because I don't enjoy the product. I don't think it turned out. This is how much I have left to edit. I have 4 minutes of footage, 5 minutes of footage that I need to edit out that I just am never gonna do. But yeah, it just wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be in terms of like, I don't know. I told Christian and Erica, I was like, I'm gonna make this channel, and the idea was like, whenever I make a channel, it'll be for stuff like this. Because when we post stuff like this on the Judgies account, it doesn't do well. It actually hurts our numbers. So I don't know. We'll see. The background playlist is just a random city pop Spotify playlist. I always just pick a random city pop playlist to play. And this one had Sailor Moon as the image, so I picked that. Yeah, I appreciate y'all supporting me already. Look at this. Already 44 subs. It's gonna be popping off. If somebody comes in and asks, like, oh, what's the announcement? And I don't see it, go ahead and do exclamation mark Hashan. That way people can get the link. I'll try to talk about it more if you have questions. But for now, let's get into Pokemon. Every Pokemon fans in chat? How about that? We can talk about other stuff while I play the Pokemon. I don't know why my mic keeps falling. Yeah. I've been like really wanting to play this a lot recently. And I did play a lot off stream. You can see I do have a save here that I need to delete. But that's right. We are on attempt 1186 of Pokemon Kaizo Ironmon. Pokemon Kaizo Ironmon Fire Red. And it's not looking great. The furthest I've been on stream was like Gym 5. And the furthest I've been off stream is the last rival fight before the Elite Four. Lil, you're unemployed. Is this like slash pause unemployed or slash neg unemployed? Like, are you glad to be unemployed? Get a Metapod. Metapod's interesting. It's not good. Got good attack, honestly. We'll see. We'll see. See if we'll take out the gold. Oh, it's got Intimidate. I think our best move is honestly to use this X special. And then go for crunch flinches and positive. Hell yeah, Silly. I love that for you. I'm like kind of unemployed, I guess. I mean, I work for myself, I suppose. Some days it does feel like I'm unemployed. This summer has been so crazy with like busyness ever since like what's up, Blake? Welcome, blissful Blake, to the chat. I've been like so crazy busy for so long. Like pretty much since we went to Creator Clash in March. No, since I went to South Carolina in March. It's been so busy for me. Like it doesn't seem like I've had time to breathe. And so this past like couple weeks has been just relaxing, trying not to take life too fast and chill out. In exactly 1 week, you'll be in Mexico to study for a year. That's freaking awesome. Luis, our friend, is trying to get us to go to Mexico so hard, which I'm not against. Just trying to get a ton of people to on a vacation and lined up with everybody's schedules is hard. I've never been outside of the country, so I would love to do that. What are you studying there? I would have loved to do a study abroad thing in college, and I never did, obviously. What part of Mexico? I don't know. Wherever Luis's family is from. He has family that lives in Mexico. I never remember where it is. But Luis just like loves going to Mexico, and like I think he's been like a few places and just loves it all. I know he recently went to Mexico City for the first time. I don't think he had been there before, and he fell in love. He has like a family member that is, I think be wrong. I think his parents are buying a piece of property and like they're just gonna build a house down there, and he was thinking about moving to Mexico too. Spanish and Mexican history, that's cool. I'm gonna catch this. Just pivot. See what it's like. Taking a large group of students to Greece and Italy, that's sick. I imagine it's cool as a teacher to want to go because like you know not really paying for anything, but also like the stress of having to watch kids has got to be terrifying. Like I would hate to have to watch children in another country. To be responsible for anybody else. 70 plus students is wild. Like I wanted to go in college. We called it we had A term, B term, C term, and D term. D term was the term that was because we had school off from Thanksgiving until a couple days after um New Year's. It was like we were off from like November 23rd until like January 5th. Hey, last Dilf in Milltown. Thanks, buddy. I can't read your hat. What does it say? Very good question. It says 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 taters, 55 tacos, 55 Coke, 100 tater tots. From I think you should leave. Um, so our D term was where you would go, but you of course still had to pay a ton of money to go, and I just couldn't do that, unfortunately. Ooh, Tentacruel is an interesting with Spore. 55 burgers, etc. is a great way to describe. It's a lot of text to put on a hat. And when I bought it, I was like I bought it off of like a website called like Old School Hats or something like that. And it was like an official I think you should leave collaboration. Um but it still like was like $50 and it after like shipping and everything and I was like, "Ugh, that's a lot of money." And I ordered it like a couple days before my birthday and it was like that thing of like I could have just asked someone to get it for my birthday, but I forgot about that. And then I get it and it's like a massive hat. Like I have to wear it so far down because if I wear it like I would wear a normal hat, it like it just looks fucking stupid. And even with it all the way down, it's so tall that it like fits a little off. But my college also has a specific class for the bio students that takes you to Belize and do actual field work. Um, I had a friend slash coworker who I think she went to Belize and did field work. I believe it was Belize. She always talked about how much she loved that. Okay, Tentacruel. How did my moves tool change? Am I crazy? Oh, that one has. Chuck a ball. Let's hope I get it. I can't use Spore, unfortunately. It's one of the few banned moves. I think it might be the only banned move. I think Spore is the only banned move. Oh, and then healing moves. Sneaking that. Can't use Kyogre, so I'll randomize again. It will take a Vileplume, although it is a stone evolution. You know, seeing the Barbie movie. I'm excited to see it. I think it's gonna be really fun. Um, but like, what's the like um rules on? Can I see it? I feel like I'm gonna see it, and then someone's gonna like tweet at us, be like, "Wow, you're a scab," or some stupid shit like that. Obviously, I know that that's. I don't think we're going until August. So I'll have plenty of time to sort of get the feel for content creators seeing the movie. I think it's gonna be really fun though. All of the interviews I've seen with what's the guy's name? I'm blanking on the guy who plays Ken. He just like is so funny and like so perfect, like in character all the time. I'm not excited for Oppenheimer. I'll say it. I'll be the first one to say it. I think Oppenheimer is not going to be an interesting movie at all. I don't know why. Like, I get the meme of Oppenheimer and Barbie coming out on the same day, so people are like, yeah, let's see them both. But aside from the meme part of it, I don't know what would compel people to be like, I want to see Oppenheimer. Like that's just not appealing to me at all. Like, I don't need to see a white dude feel bad about making an atomic bomb. But I know a lot of people who are genuinely going to see both. Like they're just excited about it. I'm just gonna catch it. My general rule is if I run into a level 8 Pokemon on one of the routes, I'm just now we're on our king shit. Okay, this isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. Rough skin. It's got immediate. It's got bulk up. This is a runnable Pokemon right here. This is actually a very good Pokemon. I think we're on our king shit right now. I mean, it's got good attack, good special attack, so it's a mixed attacker, which only it's not great because you'd obviously want like one stat being better, but it opens up our move pool. So it allows us to use both Shadow Punch and Aurora Beam. It's got decent speed. It's actually kind of it's got good defense. It's just like an overall well-rounded Killian. So I've never seen Peaky Blinders. Blake with the gift. Come on, Blake with the 3 gifted subs.
Good one, Joshua.
Thank you, Blake. You're always coming in gifting. Always gift. I've never seen Peaky Blinders. And so when it comes to Cillian Murphy, I don't have that like I'm not like, "Oh, cool, it's Cillian Murphy" type thing. You got lots to give. Well, I appreciate it, Blake. Peaky Blinders Killian has a funny haircut. I like his salt and pepper normal hair. I just I honestly I've seen the only reason why I could tell you what he looks like is from the Oppenheimer stuff in that storyline or that thing that I tweeted about where they were like, he's lost so much weight for this movie because all he ate was an almond every day. It's like, okay, cool. This has very good. You have daddy issues though? Oh, see, now I don't have daddy issues. It doesn't hit me the same. So Kingler pulling weight. Have I said the huge announcement? Yeah, like I did. It was actually I ended it like right before you got here, I think. But I'm launching a YouTube channel called Hash On. Yeah, if you exclamation mark Hash On like style that you can get the link to the channel there and maybe throw a sub on if you feel like it. There you go. Yeah, the first video is gonna be on TikTok accounts that are like they show like animals that are like injured or abused or like sick, and then they're like, "Oh, give me money so I can fix it, please." But I just sort of outline a couple accounts that I think are fake. They're just faking it to try to steal money from people. I'm hoping I should be able to get it out by next. I'm gonna spend a lot of time tomorrow editing it. I already spent some time editing it yesterday. Um, but I should edit it a ton tomorrow. See where it's at. Might have to reshoot a couple lines and stuff. That's why I have this. That's why I have this green screen now. That's not super well set up because I literally have to sit in a box that's this big because the background is so not well lit. But oops, I can use this Kingler is decent. I actually really like this Kingler. The only thing I'm nervous about is parish songs because I am slow. And I guess that's really it. Parish songs and like I can work around Destiny bonds because I feel like most of the time I'm gonna be bulking up. Yeah, the vlog I edited in a day. I think I edited the vlog in like I think it was like under 8 hours. I edited the whole thing. Um and so it'll obviously be similar editing style because I am the one editing it, but hopefully better, hopefully more in depth and with better music. Because Christian didn't like the music in the vlog. Oh, look at that. Just found a shiny Houndoom. Okay. Now, I can't run this because I've already killed so many trainers, but that's like a full odds. That's a 1 in 8,000 chance. I can't like it's got drizzle. What a weird. I'm going to attempt to catch it, but I can't use it. I'll use it as my HM Pokemon just because it's fucking sick. Look, we can even call it Houndoom because it's for HMs. That's cool. That's the first shiny I've seen in the 1,300 attempts I've got on this. That's the first. That's the first shiny. Its stats are actually not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but how about that? I was just gonna keep my starter, but I'll ditch my starter. Bioplume. You know if Chicago is worse, but driving in San Francisco ruins my day. I no, I'm not a very anxious driver in general. But I'll say this about driving in Chicago. Um I don't think driving in Chicago is that bad. I think it's actually designed pretty well and like it makes sense. Um it's like got a good grid system set up, but getting into Chicago sucks. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of major cities. Hey, thank you for the follow, Lydia. Um But getting into Chicago sucks because especially right now, if you're coming from the south or where we live on like the southeast, southwest, um, there's just always so much construction. So much construction. And it's so annoying. It's so fucking annoying to drive through and hopefully not get hit the entire time. Don't need. What's up? What's up, Lydia? Thanks for stopping by. First time chatter. There's the 4 lanes that go to 2 lanes and it's dumb and stupid and I hate it. Oh yeah. I didn't get like any money or anything. Saw a Jeep on fire on your way to Chicago once. Classic, classic. I want a Jeep so bad, guys. This is my fatal flaw. Hello, Hannah. Hannah. Welcome. If you're just joining us and you missed it, I am starting a new YouTube channel. That's the announcement. If you would like to drop a sick little subscription on that, you can follow that link in chat. That's the cool announcement that I clickbaited everybody in here for. So shit, I can yawn, bulk up. Look at this. Look at this wonderful, wonderful setup I've got. Ooh, flame body. Speed drop. What am I gonna upload? It's gonna be like a commentary. So the title, Hash On, is of course a reference to my name being Josh, but like I guess it's really only my Twitter that's Hash. And I guess TikTok I'm Hash On as well. But it's Hash's takes on things. So it's a commentary channel about stuff that I find interesting. I showed this before, but if you watch commentary YouTubers, I kind of want to be more closer to an Eddie Burback style than a Nick is not green style. That's only in the sense of like Nick just is an uploading fiend, where he uploads something about everything at some point. I don't have the time to be able to do that, fortunately, even if I wanted to. So the general idea is just to find something maybe once a month is my goal that I really want to, just do a deep dive on and let people. Ooh, hypnosis is annoying. How attainable is getting Eddie on the podcast before? Well, have a good one, Sal. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, also, very big stream next week, Sal. I know, Sal, you're gonna love next week. I can't say much more than that, but next week's stream is gonna be one for the ages. I'll say that. I've talked over TikTok DMs with Eddie, and I've talked with him just being like, I would love to have you on the show, and he's said like, yes, I would love to be on your podcast. But it pretty much, I don't know if you ever watched the Gus and Eddie podcast, but they used to talk about it a lot on there, and I totally get it because we're the same way. Where they would always say, like, they being Gus and they would be like, we love having people on our show and like doing stuff, but setting stuff up sucks and we hate it. And that's very, very just what it's been like, where it's like we'll be talking and I'll be like, oh hey, like, would love to have you on. And then he's like, yeah, would love to. And then I would be like, okay, well, what about this week? What about this? And then just like radio silence. And it was a long time ago. I haven't messaged with them for a long time. It's been a while, but no, it's kind of crazy. It is like Eddie and Sabrina were very early adopters of the Judgy's Pod on TikTok. They followed us when I think we had like 110,000 TikTok followers or something, like pretty early on. And obviously we were able to get Sabrina on relatively early on. But it hasn't come through with Eddie, which is fine. I totally get it. Like I said, like we're the same way. I mean, we have a ton of people who we're mutuals with that, I would love to have on the show. That we just and we're literally just it's mainly a me thing, I guess. Where it is just like I'm just lazy. But like setting it up is so much harder than not doing anything or than doing nothing. I don't think there's any reason. The only thing he's shown us is false swipe. I don't think there's any reason to not. Okay, that's a reason. There's no reason to not just keep going, but he can confuse us with water pulse, and I don't want to see it. And also self-destruct. I'm gonna heal here. That's the move. It's special, and he did bird us. Means we just lost. what a gut punch that was. What a gut punch of a fight that was. We're mutuals on TikTok, and I'm sure like once the idea is the reason why we're getting a new podcast studio is the way our current studio is set up, which I'm in the studio. That's apparent with the orange wall that I normally have behind me. But it's not a very big room. It's set up like this, where it's like our room is set up like this. Where this is my chair, this is their couch, and then this is my computer desk. Like the wall that's behind me is this wall. So like here's me right now. This is the door, and this is an old chimney that. But right now the way we have it set up is shooting, camera here, and then camera here. Then we have one ring light that we can fit in here, so that's why they're honestly a lot of the times Chris and Eric are much better lit than I am. The light source is like right here. So it kind of lights me okay sometimes, other times. And when we have a guest on virtually, because we live in the middle of nowhere, so the chances of us getting a in-person guest are extremely rare circumstances, like what happened with Mercury or if Rachel's in town. What we do is we set up a little table that has one laptop facing this way with a webcam, one laptop facing this way with the webcam, and that's what they see us on. And so it's a really unflattering, awkward angle for both of us because we're looking down over to see their reactions on things. And it just isn't a very easy way to have a guest on. So pretty much any guests we've ever had on past, I would say, because we had our first string of like 4 guests. That's when we had like Sabrina and Stefan Satani and Gina from the Pocket Report. When we had them on, that was us being like, oh, we would love to have you on. Like, please come on. And us trying to figure out how we liked it. And for those, we all sat over here, right? 1, 2, 3. But this sucked again because it was just awkward. Our cameras aren't set to shoot that wide. And so it just made us look weird, and it was awkward having to all sit on the same couch. And it was this when we first started recording, having like sitting in a line on a podcast just also isn't conducive because you have to like look over to talk to people. Makes no sense. Anything after that was the person reaching out to us being like, oh, I would love to be on your podcast. When can we make it done? Like Ghost Honey's manager reached out to us. Who else? Who else have we had? OKOP, they reached out to us and we're like, oh, we'd love to have you on, or we'd love to be on. We did a swap. So any guests we've had since then has kind of been like that. The obvious outlier being Rachel. We're just friends with Rachel, and she'll just like be in town or whatever. And like we're closer with Rachel, so it's more of like I don't care if you have like this awkward impression / like angle of me. It's whatever. And then Mercury Stardust just happened to be in the area for Pride Day, for a Pride. The chances of that stuff, it just once we get the new studio set up, we'll have more guests. That was a really long-winded way to say that. We did just get the email confirming our new couch is in the way. It's on the way. It's a beautiful couch. It's a gorgeous couch. I love it so much. My best move is just hope for guillotine. Can I even hit guillotine? We'll see. Probably not. Good Pokemon. Used to be super excited. I think my favorite part of discovering the podcast was finding out how few degrees of separation are between y'all and my other internet faves. Shout out to Reels. Yeah, it really is crazy. Like Nick is not green is really good. Well, not I don't know if they're really good friends, but like has been on Hassan's stream multiple times, and Nick and Nick and Dev Lemons are roommates, and also also have like music together and stuff with Queef Jerky, and then like that, and then it's me because we're mutuals with Dev Lemons. Like I've talked to Dev before. Like, wow, that's really weird. It's really weird how few degrees of separation it is between like me sitting in my house in the middle of rural Illinois and somebody that I watch like hours of every week. Oh, cool. I have weather ball. It's useless. I'm gonna lose, but I have growth too. That's interesting. Someday we'll have Eddie on. Also, Kunkin as well. Kunkin's also been a long time follower of the Judges. Not as Christian would actually more than I would. Because I didn't know who Kunkin was, and Christian. I remember Christian telling me a very long time ago, being like, "Oh, this guy, he made that video," and I'm just like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Oh yeah, he made that video. He follows us," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. I don't know him." And then now I'm like relatively like good, I don't know, acquaintances, friends with um Kunkin. Like I message him relatively frequently. That's kind of cool. Also, Sabrina and some of the H3 crew hanging out. Okay, that's about being in LA, man. Like we live in the middle of nowhere. I also think that's funny when Christian and I were joking when we say it, but when we went to Creator Clash and we, like saw the pictures of like all the people that we want to be friends with hanging out, we're like, oh, you beat it. How come you didn't invite us? Um, but yeah, like if you just live in LA and like those circles are so close to one another, that you'll just see like yeah, like those groups live like working together. Man, why can't you guys invite us? Come on, what are you doing? Who was Sabrina hanging out? Was it AB? Because they were both in Creator Clash. The other funny part too is like, of course, our our um our biggest claim to fame is TikTok. Like that's where we have our largest following. And so the only way that we can really make connections with other content creators is me following them on TikTok and hoping that they follow us back. That way we can develop a thing there. You can also email like through business emails, but not a lot of people like go through their business emails very often. It's interesting. I don't have very good attack. Um, and like so, sometimes I'll be like following a creator. I'm like, oh, it'd be interesting to have them on the podcast. Like I'll or like whatever. I like them. I'll follow them, and then they never follow back. And then I like kind of like spite unfollow them. Be like, you're not cool. You don't want to be mutuals with us. I think that because I know Danny Gonzalez lives in Illinois, but it's I really can't think of like any other like major content creators who live in Illinois that I follow. Obviously Eddie Burback is from Illinois, but they also both live in the suburbs. Well, Eddie is from the suburbs, Chicago, and I'm pretty sure Danny Gonzalez is from the suburbs. I guess I don't know where he's from, but I know what town Eddie is from just from deduction of him talking about stuff. He's never made it public, so I don't want to say it. I know where he's from, at least the city. I don't know where Danny Gonzalez is, but I can't really think of like even Illinois, let alone like, yeah, just the people who are from the middle of nowhere. And one of the few examples that I used to watch was Gus Johnson because I know the town that he's from in Wisconsin, and it is a small fucking town. It is a puny like I was born in a town with 500 people in it. I think this town has less than that. Like, I mean, we're just talking. I think a lot of people, like when I'm talking to creators, I think people really don't generally understand what I really mean when I say we're from the middle of nowhere. I think some people struggle with like that idea sometimes because like I'll try to explain like I'll try to explain something like in our lives, like what's going on. And like, oh yeah, that's like when I try to DoorDash something and it doesn't show up. It's like, man, I don't even have DoorDash around here. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean DoorDash? I can't DoorDash. You can't get an Uber around here. Like there's like one guy who's working Uber. Ooh, a Kingdra with Sandstream. That's not a very good ability. Like trying to explain how I have to drive 23 miles on an interstate to get to the closest hospital. And they're like, well, yeah, I mean, it takes me like 20 minutes to get to a hospital. It's like, yeah, but you live 3 miles away from one. Like, I live 23 miles away from a hospital. My hat is from I Think You Should Leave season 3. 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 fries, 55 cokes. Yeah, but I now live in a city that has um like we have a Target and a Walmart and everything. It still takes me 15 minutes to drive there. And when I say 15 minutes, it's a measurement of miles. It's like not actually it's like it's probably like 8 or 9 miles away from me. So like it takes me like 10ish minutes to get there. But where I grew up for the most part, um it took me like we didn't have anything to do in our town. So we had to drive to the town that I currently live in, and you had to drive 23 minutes if you wanted to go to anything other than a grocery store, a gas station, McDonald's, or like we had like a Taco Bell that cycled through. Like sometimes it would be there, sometimes it wouldn't. Um, and then a Subway. But if you wanted to go see a movie, if you needed to go to shopping or anything other than groceries, you had to drive 20 minutes, 20 miles, 20 plus miles. So if you didn't have access to that, you were fucked. like like when Eddie Burback made his video detailing ghost kitchens and how like big of a problem they were, which I'm sure they were, right? It was just literally something that I had no idea. Like I knew they existed just from, everybody that's a content creator lives in LA and they talked about them. But like when people were like, like I had like a content creator friend at the time message me about it and be like, bro, that video was so crazy. And I was just like, yeah, like what do you mean? And he's like, have you ever ordered from one? And I was like, no, we don't have DoorDash, man. Like, of course I don't have a ghost kitchen. Like we don't have we don't have restaurants that can have working fucking websites around here. They just use Facebook pages. There's no way that there's an entire kitchen that's managing like 7 different restaurants menus. 40 minutes from a Walmart. Yeah, that's pretty rural. That's pretty deep. We were like 23 minutes away from, and you had to go there. Like you had, like even now, I have to go to Walmart if I need stuff. I need to go to Walmart. It's the only place I can go. Or Target, but Target is expensive. I grew up near nothing and never grew out of saying the phrase going to town. Yeah, yep, the going to town, yeah. Did you miss the announcement? You sure did, Shijo, but that's okay because we can catch you up. I'm launching a YouTube channel called Hash On. If you follow that link in chat or go to youtube.com/@HashOnYT, you can join the club. You can join the crew of already 52 people who thought it was really fun and wanted to follow. And I should have a video up next week. I want to try to catch this Alakazam. All right, Blake, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I think I might talk with mods. I might make, by mods I mean Lem, our Discord admin. I don't know if Lem is still in here. I might make a channel in the Discord for people to suggest topics to make videos on. Hello, Lem. That might be something I do just because I do fear the idea of like missing out on stuff or like not having an idea of what I want to make. Because right now I'm making this. I've already spent maybe like 15 hours on it. I'll probably end up spending around 25 hours. Oh, thank you, Blake. Leaving the stream on just this one video, and that's with something that I found and was like, I literally found. I'll see when I sent myself because I sent myself these TikToks like a week and a half ago. The first one I sent myself was July 11th, and I was like, okay, and that was when I was like, oh, maybe I'll make a YouTube channel and make this. Was 7-8 days ago, and I don't know what I want to make my next one on. All right, Alakazam, what do we got, bud? I think Alakazam is Cleo. I think it's giving Cleo. Yeah, if you have an idea or a topic that you would, I mean, I guess you might want to see what my video looks like before you're able to like comment like, oh, this is what I want you to do one on, but it would not be completely remiss from getting suggestions and stuff. I guess what I don't want to be though is like a drama commentary. That makes sense. Like that's what I mean when I talk about like Nick's stuff is like his stuff is so like any small little thing that happens, he makes a video on. And again, I like Nick's content. It's just that's not what I want to do at all. This Alakazam is pretty good. It sucks that his moves aren't great right now. And I don't learn one until 16. But we got decent coverage. We don't have Shedinja answer. And we have Flash Fire, which means I'm immune to... I believe that means I'm immune to fire. You have like a gas station where all the 40-plus-year-old married people go to gossip, drink, and smoke cigs all day. Gotta look. Oh, yeah. We did. Well, I don't live in as small of a town. Now the town I live in is, I guess you would say it's like 16,000 people. But definitely in the towns I grew up in, it was like that. But like we live in Illinois, right? So like the thing about Illinois, if you're not aware, is how much Blizzard's doing. The thing about Illinois is we legalized video gambling, any instance. So what that means is pretty much every single gas station is gonna kill. R.I.P. Alakazam. I guess I could have healed. Just thought it was gonna kill. Pretty much any gas station now has gambling in it. Like one of those like simple ones, that you see in like it's just like a a video poker. So now that's where all the like 40-year-old married people gossip and all is is they go to the gas station and go gamble. Like you go into any gas station and it's just like filled with like a bunch of people who like literally they get off work, go to the gas station, buy a couple cases of beer, and then sit and pull slots for like 4 hours. And yeah, it's absolutely rural core. And of course, every gas station also has some sort of kitchen attached. So like it's literally people just like sitting in there. They can go out and go get food, and just they don't leave the gas station. It's not like it's slot machines, but it's the virtual slot machine. It's not. It's not. It's literally just like Zoomer brain rotting, like iPad baby shit, but for boomers and Gen Xers. They call it video poker machines. They're like video gaming machines, and they're legalized. They legalized them in Illinois, like I want to say like 10 years ago or so. Um, and it's all the same, like 7 games. It's like these ones here. Which even these look fancier. These are obviously in a casino, but it's like these virtual, like brain rotting, fucking like what you would see at an airport too. Like they have them in airports. Um, there used to be regulations in a lot of states. There are regulations on where you can put them because it's a vice, right? It's people get addicted to it and their brains fucking melt just sitting there and pulling and like looking at all these bright colors and like convincing them to keep gambling. Um, but something in Illinois, I don't know who or why or what lobby group did it, but they made it so you can put it anywhere, pretty much. Well, they made it so you can put it in gas stations, and so now every single gas station has every single one. It's so impossible to go somewhere and not go to a gas station and not just see a room filled with that. Why is it just hitting me with taunt? I'm not immune to anything. Maybe this is too niche, but it makes me think of I've never seen Percy, but it literally feels like I assume what you're describing is. I guess Percy Jackson is um dystopian, but it feels like it really does feel like when you watch a shitty like um teenage era like dystopian thing where you're just like watching people stare at screens and pull things. It's like, man, that sucks. It sucks that people get like addicted to that. Jinx, owe me a Coke. Like it makes me what it really, if you want to like going down that, I was saying, like it makes me feel like Ready Player One, where it's just like everybody is just sitting there and like wasting their brains on the screen. It's really sad. The thing is, it's so lucrative. It makes so much money that it'll never go away. There was a when I was working with my brother, there was a lady who, I think her husband left her, or I guess I should say her husband and her split up. I don't know why. But she lived in this like nice little like house that was probably built in like the 80s or 90s. So it was like relatively new. It was like perfect to live in if you had like I had a fenced in backyard. It was a 1-story ranch. Um and So it had like, 2 bedrooms, maybe 2 bathrooms, fenced in backyard. It had a screened in porch. And of course, I was working with my brother when we went there. And so this lady she had, I think, 4 cats and a dog. And when you walked in, it was just like maybe like maybe like 5 inches of just garbage all over the floor and just cat piss and dog shit everywhere. And she, for all intent, and we went into the basement to go clean out the basement, and she had a litter, like just a pile of litter in a tub. Like it wasn't a litter box; it was like a giant tub that was every square inch a shit or a cat, like hardened from cat piss. And then you're like talking to her, and she's like, she doesn't seem like she's like complete. Like sometimes you talk to like hoarders like that, and they're just completely mentally unwell. But she seemed to be doing pretty well. She's just like, yeah, I got really depressed when I got divorced and like sunk into alcoholism, and like now I'm like getting clean, and like I just need somebody to come in and clean all this shit out. That way I can start from zero. Like, oh, that's fair. And then you're going through all the shit that she has that we're just throwing out. And it's like expensive shit. Like it's like, holy fuck. How can you afford to get this? And then 2, allow it to get to a point to where, and when I say allow, obviously I'm not disavowing what depression can do to people, but it was just so much money of so much expensive shit getting thrown away. I was like talking to my brother about it. He's like, oh yeah, no, she just like is a relative higher up at one of these video gaming companies that just like would go through and install video game machines, like the video poker machines at gas stations. It's so fucking lucrative. Like people make so much money off of it in this area. It's like a major jobs thing. And then they, have people develop mental illnesses and addiction by gambling all their money away. Maybe this is what I'll make a video about. Hey, how about that? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. That seems like too niche of a topic. Because I know Illinois is like this, but Illinois is the only place I've been, only state I've been, where I've noticed this. Where it's like you walk into any gas station and there's video gaming. Man, that sucks. Especially when you think about the workers of the gas station, because a lot of our since COVID, obviously a lot of gas stations weren't open 24/7 during COVID. And since then, not a lot of them in our area have opened back up to 24/7. But before COVID, and the ones that are 24, they literally need to stock them 24/7 now because they make so much money off of people just like sitting in there and gambling. Yeah, I'm sure there are other states. I'm just saying I've never seen it. It's just like a very weird specific. Illinois sometimes has like these weird things where it's like, oh no, Illinois is a blue state and like they do pretty good for their citizens, and like, nothing gets too bad in terms of like policies. And then there's just like a random thing like that where it's like, oh, that fucking sucks. Why is that legalized? Why did that get legalized recently? The same thing with like our Illinois is a at will or at yeah, it's like an at will employment state. Like you can get fired for any reason in the first 90 days of owning a job. Fucking insane. Like crazy that Illinois is like that. The rural core topic, the small town grad to traveling welder pipeline. A lot of my small town friends, I shouldn't say a lot, but a couple, they became welders. I don't know about traveling welders, but that's only because a lot of my friends, they either became welders for like a Gazzers with the resub 17 months. Hell yeah. Been here since day one. Hell yeah, brother. I've seen all. This is actually 80s, not 90s. But yeah, it's real. I find it to be a very good background. Um, but they became welders. I don't know about traveling welders, but that's mainly because a lot of my friends also were from farming families. So they just work on their farm. Luck be a lady tonight. I don't think it could have been longer. Didn't we make our Twitch channel in Jan-? Hasn't it been? I'm so stupid. I'm like, there's been 7 months in this year and then 10 months last year. That's 17 months. Oh, this thing sucks. Go die real quick. Do you have any fear, anxiety about starting a small town having Twitch? I didn't know about that Twitch error. I know I've heard you talk about it. I didn't realize it was like a big thing. I would say in terms of like the fear of starting it, I don't think it was like anything like that. I think it was more of the embarrassment. It wasn't, I was like, oh man, people we know might see this. It was just more along the lines of like, I don't want people like to be like, oh yeah, did you hear they started a podcast? It was more like that. Oh, this thing has airlock or whatever. That was the big thing with being small, especially because obviously cities have, but in small towns, of course, there's your yearly festivals that like everybody goes to and gets drunk at. And so we started our podcast May and our yearly festivals in August. So when we went back in August, nobody knew about it back then other than like a couple of that people that were like close friends, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I listened to it." Like, "Yeah. Yeah, it's like good." Um but then by the time we came back next year, other than that, I don't really see people. Um by the time we came back next year, we already had say like 12,000 weekly listeners. So then it was the ultimate like vindication of like, ha, now nobody can make fun of us. Not that anybody would really, I don't think. Or if they did, they wouldn't do it to our face. Like we're walking into a Disney Channel movie full of bullies being like, huh, look at these dorks starting a podcast. But nobody local has even done a like, and part of it is us, right? Like, if you ever see a story being ran, like a media story, it's almost always because somebody reached out, like that person reached out to the person to write a story about them. But like nobody local has reached out to like write about us or anything. Um, in which I think is kind of like nobody really knows we exist around here. Taylor Swift. I'll name the next one. I don't spend much time thinking of names for Pokemon that I know are just gonna die right away. You always try. You always try to run it to the next. There's always a chance. I've only been recognized in our area here twice from people that we don't know. This is the Rizzlord right here. Compared to like when I go to a city, I pretty much get recognized maybe like 3 out of every 4 times I'm like in a city or at an event now. Obligatory look, it's the man who put mayonnaise on their tacos. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Again, I will defend myself. It was Aurora's decision to do that, and they were pretty good. I mean, really, what is mayo if not cheese? And not a lot of people know us really, which is fine. I'd rather have it like that. Oh wait, this one is I think Christian is. I think we named this after Christian. Name this Christian. Um, there's a lot of people that we know in real life, like people that we went to high school with and stuff, who still like sometimes, we're not super close with them, and somebody would be like talking to us about the podcast, and then the other person would be like, "Wait, you guys have a podcast?" And like that stuff is kind of like, how did you not know? like, like what happened that you don't know that? Uh, like that is always funny where it's like, really? You don't know? And like I don't have any friends from college. Like I had friends in college, but I didn't keep in contact with any of them really, other than like a couple people that I have on like Snapchat that don't post stories on, or like Instagram. Uh, and sometimes like they'll reach out, or like we'll just be talking, right? Very rarely, very, very rarely. Like, oh, so what do you do? And I'll be like, oh, well, I have a podcast. Like, really? And it's like, how have you not seen me post a single time about this? Like, how have you never once seen me post about this and clicked in your head of like, oh yeah, that's fun. And then like I'll see a post from somebody that I was in classes with in college, and they're like, because I was a biochemistry major, they're like actually doing real important science, and I'm just like having a little podcast. It always makes me laugh. We'll probably, yeah, just we'll probably. I don't know about local, but we'll probably because last year's Piss Baby meetup, it was more of like friends from the Discord meeting up than we made an appearance. I think probably in 2024 we'll look for some sort of method to like actually do, whether it be a live show or something like that, but have something where people can like um Ariel, thank you for the follow. Boop, 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 boop. Where like we can meet up and just like, because like there's plenty of people we've met. Plenty, I mean like a handful, I guess 12 maybe people that we've met who are fans and hung out with and had a fun time. But like we don't have a manager, or like we don't know anybody in like the industry that would be able to help with that, and we're so fucking useless if we don't have an in. I wouldn't hold your breath on that. Jardinera. Yeah, it was fun. But like yeah, we just like went to a bar and drank. So thank you for the follow, Moon and Bloom. The other thing too is like, especially, Christian and Erica are so busy with the baby and everything that it's hard to really find a really good time. Okay, this Gardevoir is pretty good. We have Keen Eye, which means we can't have our accuracy reduced, which is always just to not have to worry about our accuracy getting reduced. Tail Whip is useless, but Sludge Bomb, well, Tail Whip's not completely. Sludge Bomb's very good. Physical attacker. And we have Stab Psybeam. So even though we have a minus special attack nature, Stab Psybeam is pretty. This is a pretty good Jardinera right here. We got money. We got Moo Milks. This is a pretty good start. Do a gig at the local gambling gas station. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. There are like there are like local venues obviously where like we could probably reach out and be like, hey, can we do that? But Just work, you know? You know how with your jobs, we always say, like, work as few hours as possible and take advantage as much as you can? That doesn't change just because I'm working for myself. I still don't want to do fucking. Like I still want to extract as much money from my employer as possible. Just so happens that I am my employer. Screenshot? No. Tail whip is probably better than a white herb. I think this might be the run, guys. I know I've been one to say this before. I think this is it. I think this one's going all the way to the Elite Four. There's no convincing me otherwise. New promotion, I got paid to go eat breakfast with a few coworkers today and spent the rest of the day. Hell yeah. That's the dream. Well, I remember I said that was the run. I was lying. Luis had a job like that when attempt 1200, folks. We made it. 1200 attempts in the back. It was when I was working my first job out of college, only job out of college, and Christian was working his job, but he's still currently. Luis was going through the. He went to college for like 1 year, but then he was going through the salesman route. So like he was on this job where he worked for a local beer distributor, and his job was like he would literally like go into work at like 8, whereas Christian went in at 6 and I went in at 7. And Luis would go in at like 8, then he would be home by 1 and then take a nap, and then we would get home at like 3, and then Luis would be like, "Hey, what do you guys want to do?" It's like, we just got off work, man. Like I felt so like it was so awesome. He doesn't have that job anymore, but we were named Clay Doll. Is this a Barbie? The Barbie reference? What's Barbie's real name? It's Barbie. Barbie's last name? Should know this. I'm a fake fan. Big Barbie fan. Barbara Millicent Rock. Just name him Barbie. Gonna die from that? That Clay Doll wasn't terrible. I actually really thought that was an interesting. You know what I could have done if I was like, I'll make the official Hosh announcement. Yeah, the bars and bars and restaurants also have them. It's crazy. It really is wild to see. Hoser ass. Especially with like the online discourse of like just like how damaging gambling addictions can be. But like in real life, people just kind of don't really see it that way, I feel like people don't really view real life gambling to be as dangerous as like online gambling for whatever reason. which I mean, online gambling is obviously very dangerous for a lot of other reasons, but sports, I mean, obviously, like sports gambling becoming legalized was also a pretty big shift in America as well. You already see how much it's changed in the sports world since it's been legalized and like all the negative effects it's had there. Which I don't think it should be illegal, I guess, but it's just crazy. It's like sort of the same thing as like cigarettes, where it is like, man, I can't believe we know how bad it is, and we're still just like, well, but it makes people money, so I think we should keep it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Totally cool. Totally makes sense. Well, and I guess also again, smoking looks fucking sick, so that's got to be part of it. Gambling doesn't look sick. Actually, that's not true. Gambling out also looks sick when you're like see it in the movies. It's like, man, that guy's cool. He's gambling. Oh, that guy knows what poker is. That's actually really hot. Have you seen? Have you guys seen the what is Whitest Kids You Know? I think it's Whitest Kids You Know. Is it Whitest Kids You Know or is it Key and Peele? It's some sketch show. I remember which one it is. Um, but they make the Nick a dick, and obviously it's a little bit of homophobia. Oh, dick. And the idea was it's the Whitest Kid You Know. But I don't know if I can show it on stream, honestly. But the idea was in order to get the nicotine craving that you wanted when you were quitting smoking, you had to suck a prosthetic penis in order for it to eventually come nicotine into you. And obviously that's steeped in homophobia and stuff, but that was an attempt to make people think it didn't look as cool. Although again, sometimes sucking dick is cool. Can't argue with that. Sometimes sucking dick looks cool. Today, Wednesday. I did see if once Aurora gets her computer set up in our room that we're setting up for her, I do want to do more like streams with her where she can be on. I don't know if you guys saw the hint that the creator of Stardew Valley put out that there's going to be a new update. I guess it wasn't a hint; it was a confirmation. Just said like, "Hey, new Stardew Valley update. Gonna be a new festival. Looks very very fun." Aurora and I haven't played Stardew Valley. We were on a Stardew Valley kick for like a couple months, mainly her more so than me. But she fucking loves Stardew for a while. But he hurt her hands so bad that she hasn't been able to play it. And I really hope she gets better because also Pikmin 4 is coming out. And she's never played Pikmin, but she's played Pikmin Go and she really likes the little creatures, the little Pikmin. So I hope she gets better. I would love to do more streams with Aurora, like co-streams, like playing games together. Because I think we only did one, I guess. We did one Stardew Valley stream and it was very fun. There's also a show I want to watch with her. I like React content. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same commentary channel. But I really enjoyed watching. I haven't watched it in a while. But when I used to watch the Animal Planet's top 10 countdown of animals. And also we did the what was that show called? The fat phobic show where they were trying to say that they were helping eating disorders and it was British. Whatever that one was. But I saw a clip of a show on TikTok that I really want to do a lot. I want to react to it so bad on stream. Where the clip I saw was the most insane clip I've ever seen. I can pull it up. I think she said she found it too. Oh, is the music too loud? Sorry. I turned it up because the last song was quiet. What have you missed? You missed here. I can put this on screen while I'm doing this. I'm starting a new YouTube channel that if you would like to be nice and kind, you can subscribe to by clicking on the link in chat there. But you should get a video next week. I'm like 12 hours deep into making it, so I should be able to finish it. My goal is by next week. I don't know what day next week, but that's the goal. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard for me to gauge sometimes with the volume because I have it set up to where the music is actually not going to be on the VOD. That way I can play copyrighted music, even though I guess this is all copyrighted music, isn't it? Because if this was on the VOD, then it would immediately get copyright claimed. You don't want that.
Sorry to tell you that you have to return.
All right, check this shit out. I saw this clip and I immediately messaged Aurora and I was like, we need to figure out what show this is, and then she did. But watch this fucking crazy ass TikTok.
You have to return to your life of debt.
Yeah. The people clap loud when you win a Grammy. They clap louder when you win an Oscar. But the people clap the loudest when you fall. And Champ got knocked out today. There are some last words that I'd like to say to the group. Guys, I don't care how tough you think you are. Nothing hits harder than life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
That's literally it's a speech from Rocky Balboa. This guy's getting kicked off of whatever reality TV show this is, and then was like, let me give a speech, and then quotes a movie.
Okay? And don't be pointing fingers saying, I'm not where I need to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you.
Okay, thoughts on the speech? Pretty normal, whatever. He's upset that he got kicked off. There's no way he does anything crazier than that. It's like 18 seconds. It's like 18 seconds of him just screaming. 15 seconds of just... What is that? Like this, I thought this kind of was really funny. He spammed the wrong emote, like stuck on an emote spam. I thought that was so fucking funny. So Aurora found the show. I don't know if it's actually. It really is like, yeah, the producers can't cut this. This is gonna be so crazy that you could not cut this. Aurora said she found it, and like the episodes are on YouTube. But I don't know if the whole show is like interesting. Or if that dude was just, you know, not all there and just made it that scene. But I guess it's called Ton of Cash on the OMG network.
These 14 people are in debt. Deep in debt.
I'm like $25,000, $30,000 in debt, and I don't make jack.
I watched our entire house burn down to a pile of ashes, like literally, like this.
Myself.
Okay, real quick, this is going to be an amazing TV show. American capitalism just being like, oh, you are in the worst spot of your life ever. We're gonna make money off of this. We're gonna put you on TV and make fun of you. How about that? We're gonna make you go degrade yourself in order to that you might get some cash.
Steam at an all-time high, confidence at an all-time high, money at all-time low.
Now, we're giving them a chance to erase that debt and change their lives forever. But unlike most shows, we're giving them the prize money up front.
Okay.
And not just a little bit. Literally 1 ton of cash. The good news is that's $1 million.
That seems really convenient that a ton of cash is $1 million. How much does a dollar bill? It weighs 1 gram. How many grams in a ton? This many grams. So you would need, it's pretty close. That's actually pretty close. So they actually have a little over a ton, right? Because they add on another 93,000 bills. But that's kind of crazy that it's like kind of close.
The bad news is, if they want to keep it, they'll have to haul all 2,000 pounds of it over the most treacherous terrain. From Los Angeles to Las Vegas, by hand.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Everybody push!
Each week, they'll determine a leader to guide them and the money to a checkpoint.
Get those girls and bring them down!
We need more people!
And time is of the essence.
Hurry up, man, hurry up! Come on, baby, let's go! This is my night!
That's crazy.
1 minute to a $50,000 penalty.
Is that all of
Because
it?
the longer they take, the more money they'll lose.
You got 60 seconds, step it up!
After each challenge, one of them will go home with nothing.
Which then makes it harder to carry at 2,000 pounds of cash.
2,000 pounds of money.
Somebody help me! It's blowing away!
300 miles of the most grueling terrain on Earth.
This is the hardest thing I've ever been through in my entire life.
I'm not gonna cry. This hurts.
What do you think, I'm stupid?
Play this game fair!
And 14 desperate competitors.
Oh, that's just a thing he did.
to a ton.
That's a different moment of him doing that.
Play this game fair!
And 14 desperate competitors. Welcome to a ton of cash.
Working real hard just to get yourself paid. Gotta move it or you lose.
Okay, amazing show. It looks like dog shit. It looks so fun to watch. What the hell is this theme song?
So they take it away. So you drag it, you haul it, you heave it, and you lift it in a dash. Man, you're gonna make a few friends, but you take what you can. That's the plan. It's a ton of cash.
Okay, I can't watch this right now. I'm so hooked. If I start watching this, I'll be streaming all night because I just want to watch all of it. I really want to watch this though. Maybe I'll stream sometime next week and just watch this for like 6 hours straight. This looks so insane. That is what an insane fucking thing just to be like, yeah. You broke, so dance for us. Imagine making it to mile 299 of that show, and like you've been there the whole fucking time, and you've put in all of this grueling labor, and it's just you and one other person, and then the other person wins, and you get sent home with $0. You just walked ostensibly from LA to Las Vegas, or maybe the other way around, whatever they were doing, through deserts, pulling money on a fucking sled, and then you get fucking voted out at the last second, and it's like, oh, you get $0 though. Maybe I'll convince Aurora to do a stream with me next. Maybe we'll do. Ooh. Maybe we'll do it Friday night. Yeah, that's like classic capitalism. Like, there was a time of TV show creation where it was like right around like 2006 to like 2013, where it literally was just like, what's the craziest thing we can get away with legally on TV? And they just fucking made those shows. Like the one that I really was really enjoying, and then they fucking took it off YouTube, was what was that show? It was a bunch of kids. They took a bunch of kids ranging from like 8 years old to like 17 or 16, and they just put them on a abandoned ghost town, which I don't think it was actually an old town. I think they built a set, but it was actually out in the desert, and they didn't allow them to. They had like one bathroom that like 40 kids had to share, and then they were like, "Yeah, go ahead and survive, and we're gonna make a fucking show out of this." And then people started to like live react to it and stuff. Like Hassan was watching it. Kid Nation was what it was called. And then, of course, because the fucking execs of the show are idiots, a show that is no longer airing, was from like 2006, that like would for no other reason like ever get attention ever again, was getting this attention, and they were like, actually, we're gonna take it off YouTube and copyright claim everybody who's posting it. It makes no sense. This Quagsire has really good move pool, really bad stat. With Swampert. It really is crazy, like the amount of shows that be getting made that were just, oh, we're gonna actually torture our contestants for the chance of winning like some cash. Why are we going so fast? Well, because this specifically is a challenge where I've on attempts like 1,210, and out of those 1,210 attempts, maybe 1,100 of them, no, maybe like 800 of them didn't even get to this point of the game where I have made it out of the lab, and then the next 300 didn't make it past the first fight. So there's no reason to go slow here. I can slow it down once we get to the fights, but right now there is no reason to go slow. Also, I do have permanently broken Zoomer brain, and I do need to go fast at all times. Let's check out this Arbok. See how this Arbok is. You know what? I'm on 4 times speed. We got Drought with Blaze Kick. That's very good. Very bad special attack. So unfortunately, this is not good. What was the announcement? Thank you for asking, Feconator. The announcement is that I'm starting a YouTube channel, which you can follow that link to get to, and I'm going to do like commentary videos here. And the first video is due out next week. So that's the announcement. You have made the announcement. The way I was describing it earlier is like, pretty much like it's just gonna be like deep dive commentary where it's gonna be more of like for me, Fridge Pod was like an hour long circle jerk type thing. And obviously I don't have that anymore, so this is kind of gonna be like something that I might, maybe would have wanted to do on like a circle jerk type thing, but didn't want to put it on the podcast. So I'll be here, and the next should have a video next week. The plan be very fun, very cool if you supported it to buy. It's actually free to subscribe on YouTube, so there's really no reason not. That's the crazy part. Ooh, Agron is interesting. With Drizzle is very bad. Because Agron is 4 times weak to water type move. No, it's only 2 times weak. But then Drizzle makes it so boosted by 1.5 times. However, if I can get a level 8 Agron that doesn't have Drizzle, definitely don't want a Rat-a-tat. What PST does Agron even have? 530? See what moves it has. 1 wasted slot. It's also slower than me. I'm not even going to look at it. If it's slower than me and has 1 wasted slot. That Xatu is fast as shit, though. Intimidate Xatu that's fast as hell? Kind of awesome. Learns a move at 10. Level 8 one. Ooh, Bone Meringue as well. Get me out of here. Get me out. You love random moves. I think could have killed me so easily if didn't choose random moves. Two baby Pokemon. 3 baby Pokemon in the woods, forest. Oh, I just realized it's Whopper Wednesday. Did anybody get Whoppers today? Any Whopper havers in chat? I haven't celebrated Whopper Wednesday in a couple. Normally I get it on stream days, but did not today. I didn't stream 2 weeks ago. Hey, there's a level 8 one. Okay. Just throw a ball. Fuck it. Didn't even get more balls. Didn't need to. What do I name Xatu? I don't know if I've ever ran a Xatu before. I'm gonna give it to you. Oh, perfect. X, give it to See what we got here, Zatu. Don't make me embarrassed. Very fast physical attacker with Intimidate. It's an interesting Pokemon. Nature Power is interesting. Having Bone Meringue is good. Now you're craving a Whopper? Hey, that means my advertising is working. What a waste of time. If there was one rule change I would make to this rule set that I'm running, it would be that you have to run the Pokemon that you get out of lab with, just so that way I wouldn't waste so much time pivoting. It's like, I'll just spend so much time pivoting to a Pokemon where it's like, oh, I finally found a Pokemon who might be worth running, and then you wasted like... Whoppers go hard. There's something about a Whopper that just... You have Protect. Whoppers just... You can't get it every time. I can get McDonald's every time, but I couldn't get a Whopper every time. That makes sense. Can't getting BK delivered here, so I'm gonna... Now, I'm a McDonald's enjoyer. I'm a McDonald's truther. I think it's very good, very consistent. There's not many things I get from McDonald's where I'm genuinely disappointed with. But Burger King is a really good like once a month. Like they just nail the smell. I feel like McDonald's doesn't nail the smell as like a good old Whopper does. Good old Burger King's. Oh, of course it does a water move. It just one hits me. Wonderful. A chicken Big Mac. Hang on. Like, is that an actual menu item, or are you gonna order a Big Mac and then 2 McChickens? Because a chicken Big Mac sounds fucking Yes, you should try that. Interrupt. Oh, it's bad. Camel Jolene. New menu. That sounds so good. Wait, was this like the sea, land, and air shit they had for a little bit? That sounds very good. Ow. Would have won if I would have. Lots of new cookies and cream pie from it. I haven't had them. I don't really get desserts from McDonald's. The Grimace shake was very bad though. I had it before the like memes came out. That the memes of the Grimace shake that definitely weren't like a psyop from McDonald's trying to get people to actually buy the disgusting looking Grimace shake. Bolt Absorb Pylo Swan. Or like Pylo shit. And it was so bad. Like it was just not good. I don't know what they were going for. Like the blueberry tasted so artificial. It tasted so bad. It's such little. What am I supposed to do? Got fucking walled by a Chin Chow. I'll say I don't stray McDonald's. I don't stray off my order very often. Typically, always a spicy McChicken with a large Diet Coke and a small fry. It's pretty much what I always get. Sometimes I'll get the 2 cheeseburgers on a burger. But a lot of times, Aurora gets a burger of some sort, and so I get to do the boyfriend tax and get a bite of it, and that satiates. When I was a kid, though, we used to do this thing where we would drive over to the closest. You guys want to watch me say grind French? Probably not worth it. What am I even fighting? I don't even know. We used to drive and I would get a McChicken, and then I'd go to Wendy's and get a burger, and then combine them. It was so good. Tarpin's not good. Yeah, I killed it. That. Adding cheese to the McChicken is so good. I'm not gonna pay $1 plus for frickin' cheese at McDonald's. Screw that. But you do you. Aurora likes to get the fillet of fish sometimes, and she'll add like cheese, which just means they put the full slice on because they actually only use half of a slice of cheese on their McChicken, on their fillet of fishes. And like an extra $1 charge to add the other half of fucking crazy. Go ahead and drop your D&D. I would love to get into a D&D. Okay, emergency slice of cheese is actually kind of amazing. That's actually a really good idea. That's actually genius. Ooh, HP up. Yeah, I don't like fish that much, so I don't know if I would think that the fillet of fish is criminally underrated just because I don't like it. But you do you. Aurora likes it a lot. I think this is worth it. No, it's not. I don't care that. If I was very sweaty right now, I would run back and forth and grind my friendship up so I could evolve because this has a pretty good moveset already. And evolving it would be very sick. But I think I'm just gonna run it. We're just gonna let it evolve because it could evolve into something that's dog shit. Now it could evolve into something that's not dog shit. Well, but 455 is a good enough base stat total, and its stats are like okay enough to where I'm okay with running it. Ooh, a Flareon though. If you want to pivot to this Flareon, I did just find a level 8 one. Detect. It's faster than me. Knows one move I can't use. Arm thrust that did no damage. I do quad resist. I don't have very good defense. That's not very good. It's Twitter's funniest man, Josh. That's absolutely right, Carter School. And hey, if you think I'm Twitter's funniest man, maybe you'll think I'm YouTube's funniest man. When you go over to this link I'm about to put in chat, an exclamation mark #Hashan, and you click on youtube.com/@HashanYT, and you subscribe. So that way, when I post a video next week about a commentary thing I'm talking about, you'll think I'm YouTube's funniest man. How about that? Thank you for the follow, Carter. Building an Eladrin elf, wild magic barbarian. Sounds very cool. Starting out with a double-bladed scimitar, but it's broken because we're level 2. Do I do great sword or sickle for my backup? Sword got that damage, but sickle is a flavor. Could you now? Okay. Are you using a double-bladed scimitar because it's good mechanically, or do you really want your character to have a double-bladed scimitar just because visually that's what you want them to use? Because why couldn't you just use a double-bladed scimitar, but maybe do some flavor that like it is rusty or like was made out of a really cheap metal, and so it's not as sharp or strong as like a steel one, and then just use the stat block for a short sword until later your DM can give you a double-bladed scimitar proper. But if it's just mechanically that you can't use double-bladed scimitar, then, or that because you just wanted it because it was very good, and then now you're choosing between a great sword or a sickle. Is a sickle two-handed in D&D? 1d4 damage, melee weapon, simple single. Simple sickle. Or a great sword. You use a shield. A great sword, 2d6, but it's two-handed, yeah. Adim is giving it a broken tag, which like it works fine if it is. It will break. Oh, you're not saying it's broken because it's too strong. You're saying it's literally physically broken. And that one doesn't attack, it will break until fixed. That's very interesting. Interesting. I thought you were just saying it was too mechanically strong. I'm a sucker for two-handed weapons, especially having a two-handed weapon as a backup. It's like, in my mind, it's similar to like when a drummer breaks his like sticks and then he pulls more out of nowhere. I think it's fucking sick to just have like, well, RIP, go back. I think it'd be sick to have like a little sword and like you break it and then you just pull out this massive great sword and be like, oh, this is actually my like cooler sword. But sickles just look so cool. It's hard to deny that a sickle looks fucking sick. That's why it's called a sickle. When it comes to recording D&D, our DM I don't think is super keen on like being on mic and stuff. We also haven't played in a very long time, unfortunately, which sucks because obviously we love playing D. So we would have to find somebody who, I guess, I mean, if we asked our DM, I'm sure we could talk to him about it. But it's just more time and effort into something that we kind of don't have to devote to like doing that. I would totally, an ill, if you will. I would totally be down if we could find a way to make it so like we could do a really quick, easy one-shot type thing with simplified mechanics. Not something to where every turn we have to like add up all the numbers and stuff, but some very simplified thing as like a bonus thing. But that I don't think right now that's in our means to like make it a recurring like weekly or monthly thing, you know? We're still working on getting weekly bonus episodes going, which should, knock on wood, be here next. If all goes according to plan, that should be able to start getting posted next. And that's just sitting in a room and talking, let alone adding in dice. The really fun part about our D&D session, I mean, there's definitely like, I mean, it's like with anything. It's like our current D&D session that we've been running effectively since the judges started. Granted, we ran like a side campaign for a bit in between. I really want to use Steelix, but this one does a terrible move. There's so many running jokes that are so funny that, of course, as with any D&D campaign, make no sense unless you're at that table or like have listened to it. But we just like, it's so funny because our DM is wonderful. He has like the perfect mind to craft like a D&D world, and like that's so deep and rich in lore, and like you can literally, we never do because we're fucking idiots. Like me and Christian are just trying to goof around the whole time. And it's like our podcast. It's like me and Christian trying to goof around the whole time, and Erica's very like to the point. But I know like you could literally ask about anything ever, and he would be like, "Oh yeah, here's an entire backstory on this thing that you just pointed at." And while some DMs that might be like, you know, more improv than actual something he had in his mind, our DM literally just like, no, I just like literally love making like entire tax systems for cities. Like he'll just like have paperwork on like how this specific city's citizens were being taxed. But because Christian and I just like goofing around, like my character is a half-orc paladin who just like flat tires people and is a bully. Like that's her part of her character is that she just like is a dick. And he's like trying to have like we'll have like this like really intense like realistic thing that happened, and then I'll just be like as like the guy's walking away, I'll be like, can I roll to see if I can flat tire him? And there's just like one day where we just like called our group of it's because it's me, Christian, Erica, and then Erica has a familiar or not a familiar, a like traveling companion called fuck, I can't remember her name. But before that, it was just us three in the party, and we called ourselves the Four Daves. I just like randomly was like they for whatever reason somebody asked like what we called ourselves or something. I don't really remember how it started. But I called ourselves the Four Daves, and it was like, but you're three people and none of you were named Dave. And I was like, yeah, we're just the Four Daves. But now we actually have a fourth Dave, and it kind of came into the judges where, you know, we were the three judges, and then we always made the joke of like the fourth judgy, and that's kind of where we got that from, is because we made jokes about the fourth Dave, and how like everybody's the fourth Dave, like there is no one fourth Dave. But my paladin is, I wouldn't say my paladin is like min-maxed, but I definitely picked Oath of Vengeance because it's the best. And I know that's like a really common min-maxy one, but I just really liked the Oath of Vengeance. I am attempting to multi-class into an Oath of Vengeance paladin / Blade Warlock. What's the Blade Warlock called? But I'm waiting until I have enough levels to like transition properly and make it cool. I think I want 7 levels of paladin, and then I need at least 3 levels of warlock to make it like what I want it to be. All these Pokemon suck. I'm just gonna catch this level 8 mon and go. Just get on to the next attempt. Play Oath of Redemption Paladin who's a used horse salesman, Fast Eddie certified pre-owned luxury steel dealership. Oh, I thought that was going to spell out something. That's really funny. I love D&D. I think it's so fun. I know that's a hot take, but my character, we went more realistic with our back parts. Duncan Kastner. Duncan, I've been waiting for you all day, my man. What's up, brother? Dude, the best part of D&D is always yearning. It's just like, I need somebody to play. I need to play. I've never played before. Let me play. Duncan, I'm coming for your shtick, by the way. I'm starting a commentary YouTube channel. So I'm chomping your bit. I just want you to know that I'm gonna be chomping your bit constantly. Here we go. This. How did I not kill a C dot? Crazy. That was a crit. Kind of tragic because one of my friends was begging me to join his campaign, but I wasn't interested after he started. Oh, join. No, join. I'm sure you can add one more. And like the thing is, like if you have a good D&D DM, because obviously it's hard. It's a very hard thing to do. You can even do like you can even see if he'll do like a a thing where it's like, oh, I don't even need to play a full character, because like that's when once you add, like when I was a DM, I DM'd 3 people, and once you add in a 4th person, it gets so much more complicated. I don't know how DMs do like fucking 6-person parties, 7-person parties. It gets so much more complicated with math. Oh, I haven't played since. Oh no. It sucks. Like if you have a good DM, like you could even do a thing where it's like, I don't even need to be a full character. Just let me be someone's familiar. Let me have a very simplified stat sheet where I just do like a couple things a turn, maybe. Yeah, an 8-person turn seems fucking wild on D. Like I couldn't do it. I'd lose my mind. Glalie isn't dark type? Whoops, I just it didn't matter. I've always thought Glalie was dark eyes. Like combat can get slogged down with only 3 or 4 people. I couldn't imagine doing 8 people. Ball toy. Ball toy. What was I saying before? Oh, in terms of like background of our characters, is our DM, I think, like he created this like really, really intense world. And we had a choice when he's like, I've got 3 campaigns we can go from. What do you want to do? We chose a more like realistic world. He's like, there's this other one that's like more silly, goofy. And at the time we were like, no, let's do like this realistic-ish one. And then we went into the realistic ones. Like that's what we created our characters for. Like my paladin is like this like 30 to 35-year-old woman who was like, we started the campaign. I was a city guard who like, I was like a city guard who like, her mom died when she was really young and she lived in like an orc camp up in like the cold north, and then so her human dad like took her to the city to get away from the orc people because he was just a human and they didn't like him there. And then she grew up as this like really poor city guard, so like, ooh, a little bit of a Charizard action. Okay. And then when she got there, had a little bit of a situation on her hands. She just like grew up and like fucking hated her life because she was poor, but like people treat her like shit because she's a cop and she didn't like being a cop. And then she's married to this guy who's just like an asshole who like got injured while fighting in the army, but like is pretty much just doing like the bone spurs thing of like, oh, I can't do anything. I still got bone spurs from the army. And so we made like this is a super realistic like backstory that isn't like silly goofy at all. And now, yeah, my character just like flat tires people as like a main character. One of her main things that she does as a character is just flat tires people. Man, that sucks. This was a really good Charizard with pickup and everything. And I just got walled by a fucking Trapinch with Thundershock. That really sucks because if I could have confused with Dizzy Punch or anything, that I could have survived it. We just got a DM from some TikTok. So yeah, it's just so funny that we like you know, we all have the classic like, you know, the classic D&D backstory. Like Christian's character is a a cleric of like some secret like kind of cult thing, but we don't technically know that yet. And he was sent on this mission to like do this specific thing, and like he's like his character's an alcoholic and shit. And then Erica's character is an elf, a wood elf that has gay parents, just two moms. I don't know what her deal is. I guess she doesn't really have a super tragic backstory. Whereas like Christian and I's backstories are very cliche of like dead parents and also I'm edgy now. Erica's character is like, she's like a simple farm elf that's trying to make it in the city kind of type situation. But then she just got stuck with me and Christian being fucking idiots. Root. But it's so fun. Love D&D. It's always a good time. We did a very short, I guess it wasn't super short, but we did do a short we did a goblin campaign that our DM wrote where everybody played as goblins. And I think it was designed to be like a 5-session campaign. And we started it pretty much when Erica got pregnant as a way to be like we put a cap on one of the storylines in our main campaign, and he was like, well, let's just do this really short one. That way, we aren't waiting to get back to something in the main campaign once you have your baby. And then it took us way longer than we thought to do the goblin campaign. But in that, I played a wild magic sorcerer goblin. It was so fun. I love spellcasting. I think spellcasting is so fun in D&D. It's so complicated. Well, it's not super complicated, but it's obviously way more complicated than just doing like it's so easy just to go up and hit something with a sword and then run away. But I loved just having this big ass fucking spell sheet with all this wild magic surges and everything. Rip. DD is a great time. Love getting new players in with a one shot or two that can be based for really creative concept. Yeah, it's like with anything. Like you get new people in on something, and like they just like ask one question or do one thing differently than the group that you've been doing something with, and it can really like change your whole shit. Like it's so nice and refreshing. And so many people get so intimidated by D&D where it really is just like, no, just like it's really easy. You just, as long as you have like a good group that you're like comfortable with, it's so easy to like just jump in and just kind of watch for a little bit, and then eventually just like I always tell people, it's like 90% just like talking with your friends. She makes us care about NPCs named the Pizza Hut Wizard. Hell yeah. Isn't that great? Like when I was a DM, that same thing happened. It's like the random ass fucking side character that you're just like, yeah, this is a whatever character. It's this person's name is this, and the players just decide like, nope, this is actually our like what we want to. Dude, this is who we're dying for tonight. Is this random NPC that you've made us care about now? We have one like that in our campaign who I don't even know what his initial intent was to be in the story. I can't really remember. But he's a he hag. So whereas most hag or all hags are female, he's a male hag, and so he isn't really generally accepted into the hag society, and he worships the Baba Yaga. And we just like felt so bad, even though he like is actively, well, at least at the beginning, was actively a bad character, like was trying to hurt our party in some way by like making us make a deal with him to like give us something we want. He now is just like in like we always just like have phone calls using, you know, whatever stone to like just talk to him and be like, let's check up on Indenir, or not Indenir, Ionok. Let's just check up on Ionok and just see what he's up to. Like, let's see like what he's doing. He also did what's the other character I was just thinking of as I was talking? It's just so funny. It was the ultimate. Like this dude like literally like stole years off of Erica's character's life. Like stole like she traded like 10 years in order to get some piece of information. And they were like, "No, but we like him actually. He's actually a cool guy. You're going to be with our party forever, I think." Ooh, I can sketch. I can detect scout and sketch something here. Double edge is pretty good. Not great because they're do a different out here. I guess I'm looking for a good physical attack. Sketch. I guess that makes sense. Ooh, Thunderbolt's good actually. Do I want Thunderbolt? Do you have a minus special? Octazuka. Minimize is interesting. Well, nothing good, I suppose. We'll just hang on to it. We'll probably just lose at this first part. Oh, Barboach. Checked. Sunny day, useless. Chicken Big Mac review. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to find out how fucking good this Chicken Big Mac is going to be. Detect. Icicle speed. Not very good. Oh, I can't hurt this for shit. Guess I'm just gonna lose. Oh. Just kill me, Nido Queen. Put me out of my misery. Stop screeching me, you fucker. Just kill me, thank you. Joe Peck would have been really good to skip. That round was over. Oh, Gary, you've had the Chicken Big Mac? God damn. You got Chicken Big Mac expert in here. Ruant. Good job, Joker. I mean, I've had it. I don't eat Big Macs very often. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a Big Mac. Maybe like 3-4 years ago. I feel like this is probably true of a lot of things. I feel like it was better when I was a kid. Like, I think the idea of a Big Mac is a lot better than like a Big Mac itself. That doesn't mean they aren't fucking good though. I'm just gonna catch this. My Togepi is so bad. There's no reason to not catch something. Let's just hope it's just a fucking goated Pokemon. Like that's just like, oh, it's actually really good even though it's only level 5. But anything is better than a Truant 9-speed Togepi. A speed boost Charizard at level 5 with good attack. Okay. With Luster Purge and Thrash. Thrash is really bad. Like, I can't understand how bad of a move Thrash is in this kind of a challenge. And I learned Rest. No, I learned a move at level 7. I already have Rest. I can't use Rest. Last time I had one was when they had that Habanero one. A Habanero Big Mac? That's crazy. The Ghost Pepper Whopper from Burger King is where my favorite spicy one. I'm running this Charizard. We're going. The Little Mac or the Mac Jr.? I've never had that. I don't think that we have that around here. Makes sense. Just like a non-double, like not you don't need 3 buns and 2 patties and 2 slices of cheese, just like the Big Mac sauce on a cheeseburger. Okay. It's what this run is it's called the Kaizo Ironmon Challenge. Black off. It's a useless move. And the only way to really describe it is that there are so many rules. Like an infinite amount of rules. That's really bad. So if you do exclamation mark rules, if you're really interested, you can read through all of them, or you can listen to my very slightly reduced TLDR, which is you can only ever use 1 Pokemon at a time. So everything in this game is randomized. Every single item, except for key items, is randomized. The Pokemon's typing is not randomized. The Pokemon's base stat total is not randomized, but the way those stats are distributed are randomized. Its move pool is randomized. And then, yeah, you can only ever use 1 Pokemon in battle. And if your Pokemon ever dies, you lose. Now, what makes it even harder is every single trainer's Pokemon's levels are increased by, I believe, 40%. And so normally you would be fighting a level 5 Pokemon here, but we are fighting a level 8 Pokemon because 40% of... It must be higher than 40%. Because 40% of 5 is only 2. So it must be 60% or something. But they're all higher. And so now we're fighting a level 8 Pokemon. And you can see I'm going to die here, and now it's a reset. And so the idea is to use the 1 Pokemon to get all the way through. Now, there are pivots, which is why sometimes I'm looking for other Pokemon. But once you pivot to a Pokemon, you can't, like, once you look at its stats, you can't go back to your other Pokemon. You have to use that Pokemon or pivot to another one. And so you can't just, like, catch something and be like, oh, that looks good. Oh, I caught this, and this Charizard was going to be good, but because it actually has a bad move pool, I'm not going to use it. You can't do that. You have to use that Pokemon. So effectively, it makes an extremely difficult, nearly impossible challenge. One that obviously, as you can see, takes many, 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 many attempts. To the point to where I've done over 1,200, and I think as a general rule, if you do 100 runs, like if you do 100 runs of this challenge, one of that 100, about 1% of it will make it past Brock, the first gym leader, or maybe even 1% will make it to Brock. Maybe 10% of them get out of the lab if you're lucky. Like 1 out of every 10 is kind of where you sit at to get out of the lab against this fight here. And so a vast majority of your runs just sit farming for your first Pokemon and hoping you can get somewhere. Which makes the challenge impossible. It was created by a streamer who goes by the name of, oh, what's his name? Ooh, I don't know his name. Can't remember his name. But he wanted to create a rule set that's extremely challenging for stream, something to give him, many attempts to do. And that was where the Pokemon Ironmon challenge. Oh, also, you can't use items outside of battle. You can only use them inside of battle, and you can't buy more items. Like, I can't buy potions. I have to find them. The only thing I can buy are repels and Pokeballs. And you can't use held items. There's so many rules. It's pretty much, if you can think of something that would make this run easier, it's like, nope, that's banned. Like, when he first made the challenge, he just made an Ironmon challenge, which was you pick one Pokemon, and that's all you can use. And if that one Pokemon ever dies, then you lose. And then he made the Pokemon Ironmon Kaizo challenge, which is what I'm running. And then there's the Ultimate challenge, which is even harder somehow. Also, I forgot to mention, every single gym leader has a minimum of 5 Pokemon. So like Brock normally only has 2, but now he has 5, and they're all higher level. And once you enter a dungeon, what's called a dungeon, you can't leave until you've done everything in there. Or I'm sorry. Once you enter a dungeon, you can't, once you enter it, once you leave, you can't ever go back in it. Like Rock Tunnel is a dungeon. Like not the Rock Tunnel. Yeah, Rock Tunnel. Like when you first enter it, normally you would go in, you'd fight some stuff, you'd leave, you heal at the Poké Center, you go back in. You can't go back and heal. You have to make it all the way through without dying. So you can't ever heal at a Pokemon Center in the middle or anything like that. Man, this thing fucking sucks. That's crazy how bad this. And then gym leaders, or like gyms, once you enter the gym, you have to fight every single trainer in the gym and then the gym leader. And so it becomes a resource management game very quickly as well. Because again, you can't just like leave the gym and heal, and you can't like end a battle and then heal your HP up. You have to use potions and PP restoring items in the battles. It's pretty much just a very, very unnecessarily complicated way to play Pokemon, but it is very addictive. Like, I play it all the time. As you can see, I've played over 1,200 attempts on this. I play it off stream. I've probably played like 600 attempts off stream, if I take a guess. Like, probably around half of the attempts have been off stream. I just really, really enjoy it. I think it's really, really fun. Yeah, that was a way too long TLDR. I'm just going to kill this Banette and go on to the next attempt. Oh, great. Minimize. Or Leech Seed. Doesn't even do it. Exactly enough time to finish. Hey, that's why I did it. Exactly enough time to finish the chicken. Wonderful. How was it? Nothing too crazy. That makes sense. Better than the thing is, they did it for something. They did like the land, sea, air thing. I remember. I bet you'd be pretty good with one chicken slice, one burger slice. So this is an example of a Pokemon. Like, you might think, oh, Charmander, that's good because, you know, it evolved into Charizard. But also all evolutions are randomized. So if you somehow were able to get this Charmander to evolve, which is extremely unlikely as you can fighting an Entei, there's no guarantee that it evolves into. It's impossible for it to evolve into Charmander. The only thing that's guaranteed is that it will be a higher base stat total. And a fire type, because Charmander is a fire type. Oh, also, another rule on this is anything with a BST of 600 or higher is banned. I can't use it. That means legendaries are banned. Actually, legendaries as a whole are banned, even though some of them are below 600 BST. But like Tyranitar, Dragonite, those are 600 BST. I can't use those. Metagross. Yeah, there's pretty much just way too many rules. The thing is, like, this challenge run has only been completed by like a relatively small amount of people. Like, I'm not going to say it's like less than like 5 or something, but the amount of people who have completed it is definitely like not that many. And the creator of the challenge, actually, he didn't beat it for the longest time. He wasn't the first person to beat the challenge. I think like 5 people beat it before he did. It's just kind of funny. It just goes to show, like, I've seen some people beat it on like attempt like 500, 600. It's obviously all RNG. There's a decent amount of, you know, skill required as well, just like Pokemon knowledge and everything. Like, one of the people that I saw beat it, like, I don't even think she played Pokemon before, really. I mean, she had played it some before, but she really didn't know it that well. But once she got towards the end of the game, people from the Ironmon community came into her chat and kind of just like told her what button to push the entire time, which is fine and valid. It was just funny because she was like, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want to fuck this up. Please tell me what to do. So she won, but she was on attempt like 600. That's when I found it. I saw her video very early on. And then some people, you know, it takes until Victory Bell is a stone evolution. Is that right? Is Victory Bell evolution? Pretty sure it is. But we don't want this. This is like the 4th run within the past like 12 that a Swampert showed up. It's just kind of crazy. I might go for this Shuckle. Whichever one shows up level 8 first, I'll catch. A Sandstream Shuckle isn't terrible. Whereas normally a Shuckle is not that good of a Pokemon. Ooh, a Cacturn. I'll take a Cacturn. It's not nearly as strong BST-wise, but this is Cactus Jacqueline. Flashfire is very good. 36 special attack is one of the highest I've ever seen on an individual stat. And 6 speed is fucking atrocious. That is insanely bad. Man, this thing is so tragically slow. That's really funny. Neutral nature too is kind of nice. I mean, you could take like, I may as well just catch something. You could take like 20 of the special attack damage there and put it onto its speed. Like it did not need to be that heavy. Hunter. Really unfortunate. Water absorb Huntail. That's not terrible. Again, very slow. Whatever. We'll just lose this attempt quick. No big deal. Get a sub up. Hope we poison, I guess. That's weird. Mega Drain heals off of a substitute? I would have never guessed that. Well, I won my first fight in a crazy turn of events. This horrible, horrible Pokemon won its first fight. Man, 37 defense. Wild. Gotta change it. Okay, Huntail. That's too bad. This is the first time I beat 2 battles in a while. This is like stereotypical. Like I feel like whenever I play on stream, this happens. I'm just glad if one Pokemon makes it to Brock, which we did very early on. We had a Pokemon get to Brock and lose. And then just like nothing else works for so long, for such a long time in the middle. And then I'm running this, but it's literally just it's just like a terrible Pokemon. Like there's no reason for me to be running this right now. Remember when I was in double digits? Yeah, now I'm in double digits. 1, 2, 2, 5. I think that's probably where we will end it because Aurora is getting home. Whoa, look at me on the beach. You got an ad and thought that was the stream? Sorry, I wish I could disable ads, but unfortunately I cannot. Well, everyone, this is unfortunately the end of the stream, Carter. Thank you for joining and for the follow. If you want the announcement, this is what the announcement was. I appreciate it again. Anybody who went in and you know, subscribed there with that link. Really appreciate it. Expect that video. I want to guess early to mid next week. I obviously won't release it on Monday because that's when Judges release it. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging. It's been a blast. Also, this is a separate announcement. Next week's stream, you don't want to miss. I'll tell you that much. It's a Christian stream, but I've been working with them on what's going to be going on stream. And so next week's Christian stream, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be sick. So look out for next Wednesday. It'll be a little bit later than when I stream, obviously, because it's a Christian stream. So yeah, I'll see you all